That premature withdrawal was the fatal error, creating the void that ISIS moved in to fill, and that Iran has exploited to the full as well. ISIS grew while the United States disengaged from the Middle East and ignored the threat. And where was the Secretary of State? Where was Secretary of State Clinton in all of this? Like the President himself, she had opposed the surge, then joined in claiming credit for its success.
Jeb Bush at the Reagan Library blasting President Obama and Hillary Clinton for the biggest foreign policy decision of the Obama years. The war in Iraq now returning back to the forefront of this campaign. Ambassador Paul Bremer was on the ground in Baghdad, presidential envoy in Iraq under President George W. Bush. And welcome back here and good morning to you. There are trap doors for the former governor. There are trap doors for Hillary Clinton on this. Lay it out. How did he do last night?
Well, I thought it was a solid and convincing exposition of his strategic priorities, which are to restore American credibility and to revive American leadership. And I think he was correct in pointing out that both of these, the credibility and the leadership, have been lost over the last years under President Obama and during the time Secretary Clinton was Secretary of State. Not just in Iraq, but he pointed out about Syria and the fact that they don't even have a strategy for defeating ISIS.
He said rushing away from danger can be every bit as unwise as rushing into danger, and the costs have been grievous. What he's trying to do is put her on the defensive. Will he?
Well, we'll have to see how she responds. I mean, I think he has a pretty good case, particularly on the case of Iraq, that the fatal mistake, as he called it, was withdrawing our troops at the end of 2011. But he also pointed out some of the problems of the broader conduct of foreign policy under President Obama. He talked about the red lines that were crossed in Syria and were met by nothing but idle words from the government. Credibility is the currency of national security policy, especially when you're a great power. And we've lost a lot of credibility, and that was the under theme of a lot of what Governor Bush said last night.
Jake Sullivan used to work at the State Department. He now is a policy advisor for Hillary Clinton. This is what he said. This is a pretty bold attempt to rewrite history and reassign responsibility. They cannot be allowed to escape responsibility for the real mistake here. They might hope we'll all forget, but the American people remember. How does Governor Bush react to that?
Well, I think he tells the truth, as he did last night, which was that Iraq was stable. Al-Qaeda had been defeated by the end of 2009. Both the Secretary of State, the President, the Vice President, Biden, all said they had inherited a stable Iraq. And when it went south was when we withdrew our troops at the end of 2011, as Governor Bush pointed out last night. I think Bush can welcome a debate on the facts. Those are the facts.
Final point. He said, we do not need and our friends do not ask for a major commitment of American combat forces. And then he went on to say we need to convey that we are serious and determined to help local forces take back their country. That could be her position as well. And then there's no distinction.
Well, we'll see what she says. He called for a more aggressive bombing campaign against ISIS in both Iraq and Syria. He called for no-fly zones in Syria. I haven't heard her talk about that. He called for putting more troops on the ground, including forward air spotters, to make the air campaign more effective. Effectively, I think we will need more special forces on the ground. We'll see how all of this comes out when Secretary Clinton is asked to speak in public about what her policy would be.
It's going to be a big issue. Paul Bremer, thank you for your time this morning. Out of Washington,
Good to be with
D.C.
you, Bill.
Appreciate it. Patty.